Hey guys, and thanks for stopping on in for today's college football pick video play for Thursday, November 23rd, 2017. Only one matchup on the board for Thanksgiving's action. It's this rivalry matchup here between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. If you guys are interested in getting all of our college football plays for this week's action, you can access those over at stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. So coming to this one, the home team today, Mississippi State, they're rather significant favorites here. They're giving about 15 to 15.5 points, which is always a dangerous situation to be in these rivalry games. But the Bulldogs, they've looked like the clear-cut better team between these two squads so far this season, and they're certainly deserving of coming into this one on their home field as significant favorites. Ole Miss, everyone knew it was going to be a down year for them given all of the situations they had to go through during the offseason with their head coach and all that went along with that. Also, they do have that one-year self-imposed postseason ban. So even if the Rebels are able to win today's game, they would get to that 6 wins, but they wouldn't be going to a bowl game, which is unfortunate for this group of players. But nonetheless, this is going to be it for the Rebels for the 2017 regular season. And as a result, probably going to be hyped up as more of their Super Bowl situation going into this rivalry matchup. And it's not like the Rebels have been terrible this year. Around 500, they've been hovering at that mark for a good portion of the regular season. They've been very competitive outside of just a couple of games this year. For instance, their loss on the road against Alabama and Auburn. Outside of those two contests, the Rebels have pretty much either won or been right in and very competitive in pretty much every other game on their schedule. As a result, this group, their plus-minus on the year is only about -2 points to give you an idea about where this group stands. 38th in the nation in scoring average, but unfortunately for this group, it's been their defense that's kind of held them back from having more success. 112th in the nation in scoring average. And of course, quarterback Shea Patterson, he continues to be out. He's been out for about the past month, but Ole Miss with their backup quarterback, they've continued to be pretty competitive, and they've shown a lot of decent results with Tiamu under center there. Over the last 4 outings that he's been the starter, they lost to Arkansas by 1 point. They beat Kentucky on the road. They blew out Louisiana Lafayette, and in their last outing, losing to Texas A&M by just a touchdown. So been pretty competitive there, and this has been a group that's actually had a ton of success through the air. They rank 7th in the nation in passing average, which is pretty impressive for a team that only stands 5-6 overall on the year, and they've been without their starting quarterback for about a month now. So the fact that they've still been able to hold those very high passing numbers this year is still pretty impressive. So the home team today, Mississippi State, they get things done a completely different way. They are a run-first squad, no doubt about it. They're at 8-3 overall. They're 4-3 in conference. Mississippi State, right now on the year, they rank 40th in the nation in scoring average, so pretty similar to the numbers that their rival has been putting up this year. But defense has been way better, 20th in the nation in total team defense, giving up right around 20 points per game. So their plus-minus on the year right now is plus 12 points. And you compare that over to Ole Miss, whose plus-minus is at about -2. And then when you do the math on that, not a surprise to see Mississippi State coming to this one as this significant of a favorite, especially when you consider in that home field advantage. But the Bulldogs, they've been a lot of fun to watch this year. Nick Fitzgerald, he reminds me a lot of a guy like Tim Tebow or Cam Newton, just one of those guys that loves to run the ball. He can take hits. He can dish out pain himself. He's leading the team right now in rushing, nearly 1,000 yards on the year. He's also rushed for 14 TDs. He's also thrown for nearly 2,000 yards and 15 TDs. He's been one of the more effective quarterbacks in the SEC this year. In their last outing, Mississippi State, they weren't overwhelming, but they were able to come through on the road against Arkansas, winning that one by a final of 28-21. A good bounce-back result there for the Bulldogs, coming off of their disappointing touchdown loss at home against Alabama. And then prior to that, a game at home against UMass, who hasn't had a whole lot of success this year. Mississippi State didn't look great in that one. It was competitive for quite a while before they went on to win that one in the end by just 11 points. So Mississippi State, they've shown that they can blow out opposition. They blew out teams like Kentucky. They had a convincing win against Texas A&M, BYU, LSU, Louisiana Tech. So a number of teams that they have been able to blow out this year, but they've also taken it on the chin as well. They were blown out by Auburn as well as Georgia. So this is a team that when they've gone against tough competition, they've kind of folded up other than their game against Alabama. And then in contests where they're expected to do well, they have gone on to do that. But in these rivalry games, you almost can throw the record out the window in a lot of cases. We expect Ole Miss to treat this as their most important game this year, while Mississippi State, Winning this one, obviously you want to go on to beat your rival, but they know they're going to the postseason, and it's not going to be the SEC championship game or the college football playoff. So winning this one might not be quite as big of a deal given the fact that they know they are going to continue to play into the postseason, unlike their opposition here. So for today's video, we are going to go ahead, side with the road team, taking Ole Miss to keep things competitive enough, like we've been seeing out of them over the past month, as they keep this one close enough to go on to cover this very large spread, getting over 2 full touchdowns. Feels like a pretty generous spread here for the road team. So again, our play here, siding with the road team, Ole Miss. And if you want to get all of our college football plays for this week's action, you can access those over at stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. Be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping on in, and we hope to see you guys in future videos. Bye.